Your knowledge of contract language is imperative.
You must know what a violation looks like if you wish to be active in its cessation.
It is important to understand that being active and knowledgeable affects your overall bargaining strength.
Together, we can forge a more militant NALC.
Good morning and welcome back to Parcels of Knowledge, that podcast dedicated to delivering knowledge to the city letter carrier with your host, the Roseville Wrecking Ball. Recording today, the day after Thanksgiving, from the beautiful city of Roseville, Michigan, currently on grievance number 550 for the year. Now, today's going to be a short one. Once again, we're going to go over some clarifications from a couple episodes. And later on, we're going to have an interview with the Macho Mailman, as long as everything works out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get in touch. We're both on the ODL, and you know how it is the day after a holiday. So, of course, things might get complicated. But around 7 p.m. or later, we're planning on making an episode. So stay tuned possibly tomorrow to see the new episode if we get our interview in. And, honestly, today, we're just going to go over some clarifications. First of all, I'd like to clarify something that was said on the episodes that were test your contractual strength. There was one mistake that was made. One of the things I read off the Black Book, which was correct at the time, but that thing was written in 2006, was that PTFs will not be fronted annual leave in the beginning of the year. I want you to note that that is now incorrect. When I read that, I kind of thought, oh, didn't I hear something from the new contract? It's true. The new contract does indicate that PTFs and CCAs will be fronted a balance of 40 hours. We're not sure exactly how that's going to work. If they're at zero, are they going to be negative 40 once they use it? I'm not sure. But I would imagine that's how it works. But since this is the first year it's going to happen, we're going to see in real time. Just remember, normally that balance is given to you on pay period 3, which is like 2 weeks into January. But, yeah, sorry about that. That was a mistake on my end. I knew better, or at least I kind of had a hunch. And once I figured it out, here I am. I'm explaining it to you. And the only other thing I'd like to clarify is on the Pay Anomaly episode. I could admit I could have done better in terms of clarifying certain things a little bit better. Considering I'm a newer carrier, I'm not as in touch with the technical term pay anomaly. The definition of anomaly is something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. I did understand there's a technical term, anomaly. What I didn't understand was that it had a significant impact on people's knowledge of the subject. I just want to be clear. The thing that I'm bringing up in the Pay Anomaly episode is not the typical pay anomaly you're used to. What I am suggesting is that there is a new anomaly, not quite yet caught by National, that is having unintended consequences on people's pay. Essentially, it only affects those who were hired after the change where the pay anomaly was not supposed to occur anymore. And I have two suspicions. Either the computer structure that was involved in doing the things that the anomaly needed to do is still around and causing unintended consequences. Or somebody in HR currently has old knowledge of how they should have done things and is still doing them today. One way or another, people are losing weeks and weeks of progress toward the next pay step. And it's almost always in cases that are PTFs and have at some point converted to T6. So if you had a little bit of confusion with that episode, I'm sorry about that. I tried my best to explain it the best way I could. But I'm not always using the technical term pay anomaly. I'm using it sometimes by its normal definition of something that's not expected or normal. It's a very serious problem. And if you have any issues with determining whether or not you are in the right place, feel free to contact me. 586-209-1902. That's 586-209-1902. And with that being said, I'm going to segue into my last announcement of the Corey Walton interview. Because, as far as I know, me and Corey are set to record on Sunday, November 30th. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's Sunday. And with that being said, there's only 2 days for you to submit any question you want to Corey Walton. Literally any question. We could ask him even what his favorite fast food is. I know he's an open guy, so of course I'm going to get a little bit less questions. And I probably have enough, but I really, really want to get you guys to get to know these candidates, so the more questions, the better. Please submit those to me at rosevillewreckingball@yahoo.com, or alternatively, in these last few days, you can always just text them to me. It's 586-209-1902. That being said, that's all I had to update you with today. It's going to be a short one, like I said. You guys be safe out there. It's going to be cold, and it's the day after holiday, so make sure you're not cutting corners, because we want all that route credit we can get. It's not quite December yet. They can never use December as part of the route counts and all that, but they can use November. So make sure you're doing everything the way they should be. Give your route the credit it deserves, because on days like this where the volume is overwhelming, that's finally one of those days that works out for us in terms of the credit that our route is accumulating. But, as always, hopefully you learned something valuable today, and have a good day.
Out to the Roseville Wrecking Ball. He is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God. We need Article 8 scholars right now. The grievance genius and the Roseville Wrecking Ball doing amazing work.
Brothers and sisters, this guy is good, man. He's fucking good.
And my boy Joshua, he killed it. Man, he's lockstep right now. He's killing it.
You would think this guy is